Hey there, folks. This is DJ Sunstone, aka Keshigomu, and I'm here with another ROX Global video. This time we are talking about the newly released, what's this called? Divinity system. A lot of folks have been getting confused on how like they should be, what they should be doing with this, how they should be doing it. So I'm just kind of gonna go over like kind of the basics of like what you should be doing after you have gotten your first few Divinity. So if you are looking for a video on like what to do, how to get it, you should check out. There's a King Spade video about it. There's other people who've done a video about it. Go check them out. But this is more or less to talk about like how you can, what you should be doing once you have your Divinity and like kind of how that you can maximize it. As always, if you haven't already, feel free to drop a like, subscribe, check out my socials, all that fun stuff. And I'll just kind of get into the meat and potatoes of it all. So, Divinities come out. There's about 8 different slots you can have total. We only have access to 3 right now, and I've only really used 1 slot right now. That's going to change a little bit because I'm going to do some of this with you guys. The first thing that you really need to think about when we talk about this Divinity is, how to get it, how to craft it. Mainly is going to be crafting. If you're not like, a whale, with the recent Divinity system, we got our new advanced smelting here. So it's not just smelting for regular items. Now we have advanced smelting, so we can do some of our Divinity as well. So I'm going to do about 2 of each, just for the fun of it. Before we do that, though, there are 2 items that you can get that you need to do in order to get your Divinity. The first is a Dusk Prism. This is what you get from shopping, or not from shopping, but turning in your life skills. So you can, if you're here, you can navigate it and get taken to this exchange where you can check out the various things that you can exchange for Divinity. It does rotate every few hours. So let's say, I forget how many hours it is, but it does rotate multiple times throughout the day. So if you have something here that you're like, hey, I don't want to really spend any of my stuff that I have, you can wait. You can also just do it with your currency. It's precious. So this is 123k. I'm not going to do this because I do not want to spend that much, but you can spend however much you feel comfortable with and buy yourself some dusk prisms like that as well. So that's kind of like how you would actually get your hands on some of this stuff, or the dust prism specifically. And the next bit is, of course, the proof of hero. This is the kind of the limiting point because you can get this through a handful of ways. There. So your daily instances gives you 90, about 270 per day, which is roughly about 1,890 for the week. And then you can get an additional 100 per day doing your COC missions. When you crunch all those numbers, that's about 2,500, 2,600 proof of hero that you get per week. Just not hitting that cap of 3k. You get, to get the rest of it, you're gonna have to do the endless tower. The various floor rewards are going to be giving you that proof of hero as well. It doesn't really matter which one you get the most of, as long as you hit that 3k cap. That's what you're going to want to be doing, because without once you start getting less and less of it, you're going to be falling a little bit behind. It's not too much, I'll be honest, because 2,500 versus 3k is not a big difference, but it is a difference nonetheless. So keep that in mind. You can also have have a cap of 5,000. So that means you're going to be wanting to regularly be accruing and expending this dust, because within 2 weeks you're going to start having dust that's lost, just gone to the ether. You don't want that. So that's the kind of things to consider when doing that. So to maximize that, again, do your dailies, do the tower. Dust Prism, you just get it as you go. And the last thing you're going to want to get is level up materials. So I'll be using this as just a quick example. Like, Divinity requires level ups, or has experience that you can level it up. You can get material like this to level it up, if you would like. I forget what it's called. With this level up material, there's a couple different ways you can get it. You can get it from dismantling your Divinity. You can also use other Divinity to level up your Divinity. You can get it from doing your MVP and mini hunts. So if you check here under your attempts, you have your rare bonus, your ranking, your last hit, first hit, participation bonuses. When you will pick on any boss, but when you go to their help thing, you'll see that for every boss now, their ranking reward gives you now this level 3 spirit that gives you experience for your divinity, and your participation rewards. Nothing else inherently gives that. So it's always a good idea to be doing some boss hunts throughout the day just to at least get some of your experience for your divinities. You can also, when you get these loot chests, when you do as a rare bonus, it does come with more experience as well every time you open it. So you're always going to get 30k crystal. You're always going to get that 15 spirit level 3 boost stuff. It's really good to keep that in mind as you're going through, because you're going to want that. And then one of the other things that you may see as well is that one of the rare bonuses you can get from bosses now is also the gold divinity chest. Not common to get it because it's rare bonus, but if you're doing your boss hunts daily, you should probably be able to start accruing some over time. So make sure you're doing boss hunts, because that's going to help. It's not the most important thing to do, but it is important in just accruing stuff. After that, now the big thing that people are like saying is, okay, I've gotten my dust, I've gotten my level up stuff, I've gotten my crystal thing to make my divinity. Now what? So first, let's make it open. I'm going to make 2 of each just because I can. So that's 2 spears. It's 2 hammer. And 2 of the blade. So when we get these divinity, at least the ones that we craft, is completely random. We don't really know if we're getting blue, purple, or gold. Obviously, it's probably weighted to be more blue than anything else, but then you get your purple, then you get your golds. Regardless, this is how you get your divinity up. There's also excuse me, when you're doing this, you're going to be looking at what stats are going to be good to have for your divinity. So before I go ahead and open these, I just want to go over quickly the stats you can get. And this is kind of what helps know what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing. So each of these has additional subsets you can get. So every divinity has just a base stat. I don't have the other ones here, so I can't show them off. But everyone has a specific base stat. For this spear, it is HP. I forget if it says it here, but it doesn't. Whatever, we'll see it in a second. And then there's various substats, and then each one has specific substats. Me personally, because I'm playing Bard, I'm going to definitely want more of my base stats. But it really, what I will say is, like, when you're looking at this, is look at what here you might actually want to use. Because if you get, the fortune is going to favor the comparator here a little bit, where you are looking at your divinity, you're going to want to pick up things that you may play in this class or even another class, because you're going to be getting a lot of these over time. This is very much a long game thing. So when you're looking at your divinity and you're looking at what to keep and what to get rid of, keep stuff that you think you might actually have a use for. Get rid of the stuff you won't use. For example, I don't plan on playing any magic classes. All the classes I've gone through the trouble of trying to class unlock are physical attack. So M attack here will be useless for me. So when I enroll with my divinity, anything that gives me the M attack is going to be something I just want to immediately get rid of, because I don't care about it. I may not, if I'm playing, I only want to play DPS classes, then I may not care too much about max HP or something like that. Another thing as well is, like, maybe I want to have something that's focused on certain types of damage, or maybe I don't want to have specific race damages. That's another thing that you may want to get rid of, etc., etc. Or if you have something that has, like my current divinity has bonus to fish and bonus to demi-human, and you don't want 2 races on there because monsters can't have 2 races, you might want to get rid of it. Or if you want to have something that has various applicability to various different types of race of monsters, and you can have it all on one, I wouldn't recommend that personally, but you can do that. Again, when it comes to something like P damage reduction, M damage resistance, or reduction, if you're playing like me, if you're not really playing a tank class, it may not be worth it for you. All this to say, when you are looking at, your roles or your substats, think when you get it, base it on what you want, what you may be thinking about wanting. something that you are interested in, because otherwise, if it's useless for you, that's the stuff that you're going to be wanting to get rid of. That's the stuff you're going to be recycling and using to power up your other divinity. Again, for Thunderous Hammer, you get this. You may want to focus, if you're DPS, on the size and chance. You may want to focus on something like dodge if you want to get a little bit of, what's I'm looking for? So defense, so to say, in your DPS build. If you're somebody who has a good amount of agility or something like that, that could be helpful. Crit builds, M-Pin, all that, is good. There's also, of course, your enchantments. This is going to be much more touch and go. For a player like me, where I'm not doing a lot of attribute stuff, it doesn't matter. But if you're like maybe a mage, then it matters. If you are playing something with like poison, like doing the daggers and rogues and stuff, that might be helpful for you. So this is, there's no silver bullet answer. If you're playing a tank, you may care more about final P-Def and M-Def. There's no correct answer, but there is ways to consider what it is that you need, why you need it, and whether you should actually keep it or not. We'll go through the last one or two for the Blade of Glot Slayer. If your attack speed, your haste, your bonus heal, all these are good depending on what you need. There's also, of course, bonus damage based on your attributes. So water, wind, fire. And that can be good. That can be really helpful, especially when you're trying to build up more and more damage. But it will mean you have to have multiple divinities, so you can have, specialized damage for each one. One thing to consider is, like, as you're doing this, it cannot repeat. So you cannot have bonus to water multiple times, but you can have bonus to fire, bonus to water, bonus to wind. So that's another thing when you're doing your rolls. If you get a bad roll, you may want to get rid of it. If it's already, a divinity that has a good enough amount of stuff on it, you may want to keep it until you can find something better. I have found that when I've been looking through guides and everything like that, the most important thing you're going to want to be looking at doing is pimping out your blue stuff first. So because you can have, upgrades to this really simply, like this is 70k. I have, I can drop 7 down very easily. I have a lot of level up material. When you get to the purples and golds, and we'll see that in a little bit, it can be really, really expensive to level it up. So blue is a great way to get started, just to have good stats. And then you can more slowly work on your purple and your gold. That way you can have that way you can really level it up, get some good stats on that. And then once it's all gotten, all your extra bonus stats on it, and they're all good rolls, you can trade out your blue for something even better. So I would say focus on getting those blues leveled up. And obviously, if you have a good gold, use it, right? But if you are looking at what to do, even starting off with blue is not bad at all. Everything here is good stats, generally speaking. So take it in stride. And you can start off with blue and get a bunch of just good stuff, and then work on your other stuff later. That way you're able to actually keep up with the DPS as we're going into higher and higher levels, hitting those level caps. It's not going to be quite keeping up with the whales, of course, because they have more resources, but it will make you not fall as far back behind, and it'll make you competitive, so you can actually get more of the resources to be able to catch up. So keep that in mind as you're going through. Now let's go ahead and open some and just show in practice what we're going to do and keep based on what we get. So I actually have these, but then I also have some purple divinity as well. So I'm going to start with 2 of each of the God Slayer blade first. A hammer. Ooh. Oh, I might actually just sell this, because this can be sold for diamonds, and people absolutely, hell yeah. I'm not going to say no to that. Absolutely. We're going to sell. Oh, whatever. We'll come back to that. But yeah, it is random. So keep that in mind. Don't get too attached to it being one thing or the other. So that is really nice. First, we're going to open up our spear. We're going to open up our hammer. And then we're going to open up our blade of the God Slayer. So let's see what we got. So this is increased luck. I do not want that. I don't play anything that plans on using luck, so I don't need it. Increased vit. Vitality is always good. You're never going to have a problem with vitality. So I'm going to actually replace this. Put this on. Now we have this. This is M-Pin. I do not plan on playing anything with magic, so it's useless to me. And this has our This is our PvP damage bonus. That's pretty nice. Or final damage reduction. Both of these are kind of, for me, I do not really want either of these, I'll be honest. But that's fine. Now let's look at our purples too. I just saw it a second ago. There it is. I'm going to put one in the hammer and then one in blade. Let's see what we got. Final PvP damage bonus, final M damage. Ooh, final M damage. That's rough. This is, oh, extra damage to small monsters. You know what? I'll take that any day of the week. Because I do, you know, always good to have extra damage against monsters. So we'll take that on. And then because I really do not like the blade one I'm going to roll that purple one more time just to really, hopefully. Let's get something good. Debuff duration reduction and final attack speed. Not great, but I guess, you know, it's not the worst. I'll throw it on for right now. Sometimes it's better, you know, this is one of those things where sometimes it's just better to have something, because at least you still get these base stat of 53. But this also lets me know that I'm not going to waste much time in leveling these up because they're not things I like. On that same token, I might look at this one right here, the spirit with the vitality, and say I want to upgrade that because vitality is always good. Let me see if I can get something better with this. So yeah, I actually do want to just get rid of this one just because I did it for no reason. It's 3. Alright, sure, why not? Just to get rid of it, I'm gonna do that. This is how you can simply upgrade divinity. Yeah, why not? This is how you can upgrade your other stuff. Your divinities with other divinity. I got a bad roll. I got strength. Lets me know I don't really want to spend much more time in this because I already got a bad roll. But if I had a good roll, I could still keep going until I could get level 7. It is what it is, but for the time being, this will stay on, and now I'm going to be looking for my next divinity, right? I could, theoretically, if I really wanted to, just upgrade this, but again, I don't want to because I don't have any use for luck. But that's how you go through, and this is how you're going to ultimately be choosing your divinity and leveling them up. For here, this bonus is small damage, small monsters and damage reduction. I wanted to point out here that this has a significantly more experience to level up. This is 150,000 just to go from level 1 to level 2, and then with here, this is 60,000 to go from level 3 to level 4. So this is why it's going to be really important to be getting a lot more of those these like level up items here to be able to level up your things, and also frankly to keep doing things like boss hunts to keep on accruing this stuff, because you want to have a lot, because as we get to higher and higher level stuff, as we get to more divinity crests unlocked, you're going to be going through a lot of that stuff. So at this point now, the best thing you're going to be doing is going to be out there boss hunting, getting extra stuff, and getting extra dust to level your girls up, and then eventually you're going to want to get your golden divinities. Now again, I am not keeping this because I'm a businessman, so I'm going to sell this myself personally. But if you wanted to, you could keep that, which would be a great thing to keep. I'm not going to front. You could keep that and see what it brings you, or you could do like me and sell it on the market. Regardless, it's something that is your choice, and it will ultimately work out for your favor. Really, however you want to go about it, whether you want to sell the golds for extra money at least until you can get yourself in a nice position to do other stuff, or you can use it for yourself. I hope this has been helpful just to kind of talk out some of the things to do in Divinity and like how you actually want to approach it. This is going to be very much a long game, so please don't burn yourself out trying to get everything at once. Take your time. You're going to be doing a lot of recycling. But thanks for checking me out. I hope this has been helpful for folks. Hope that people have been able to learn something from this, if nothing else, just in terms of just how to move forward, how they should plan to manage these things. And then, you know, that's that. Thanks. Check me out later. Drop a like, drop a comment, all that fun stuff. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.